2031, we have him for that long, and even at that, he's still gonna have so much more to give us if, you know, everything goes well as we hope he will. But I think he's so committed to this club. It's just, it gives you so much ilusión, and it gives you so much kind of like little butterflies in your stomach there. And it gives you just happiness to know that we have, you know, a wonder kid like Lamine Yamal wanting to sign for us.
We're going to go to the Camp Nou in a second, to the Barca offices, to see Lamine Yamal's arrival, where he will join President Joan Laporta in this special occasion in which he will sign this new contract. I don't think there was any doubt that Lamine Yamal wanted to continue as a Blaugrana, wanted to continue to grow as a Football Club Barcelona player, the club of his dreams, where he's grown up, close to his family, the club he's supported since he was a young child. But I think it's a moment of great significance for Barca to just tie a knot and link up with the one of the best players in the world, definitely one of the most differential players in the world.
Yeah, let's make sure that release clause is
yes,
way, way, way up there and impossible to actually meet.
Yeah.
But I would call him one of the most exciting players in the world, electric in that sense, and in some ways unpredictable, because we watch him play and every time he does something that we feel like we've never seen before, or we have, and it reminds us of others who have made it look that easy. It's a good feeling that he's going to stick around for a few more years at the very least. And
we're going to be taking a look also at some of the best images of Lamine Yamal last season. At the age of 17, a player with so much gravity. We'll take a look at those in just a second, but Lamine Yamal arriving at the Barca offices to sign his new contract. There he is, joined by his family. All suited up, Lamine Yamal, with his usual swag. And yes, just moments before signing his new contract with all of his family, all of his closest relatives. Just a fantastic occasion, a day that for sure he will remember. I mean, it's just a big week for Lamine Yamal as well, turning 18 last weekend, returning to training, now officializing this new signing. So definitely one to remember for Barca and for Lamine Yamal.
Yeah, definitely. It could be easily a historic day. You know, we're going to be looking back on this when he's 24, when the contract is ended. And we'll be looking, you know, this day in 2025 was when he signed, as an 18-year-old, and look at him now. It's going to be the beginning of the progression, the beginning of everything, essentially. I think right now, this is probably, you know, we've seen him so much, but now it's kind of, you know, the next chapter in that step of his commitment and for what he asked for us, really. You know, it sounds very egocentric from our perspective, to be like, let's see what you got to show us. But it's the next chapter of Lamine Yamal and at this club, and hopefully when we come back to this day, it's going to be a historic one.
And it's one of those as well in which we'll look back at the images in 6 years' time.
Remember that day? What were you doing in that day?
No, well, I was going to say, didn't he look young? Didn't he look young? I was looking at the Davis debut today. That was 2 years ago?
Yeah,
and
he changed
I was
so
gonna
much.
say, you're saying in 6 years he's going to look young, and I agree with you, but right now, he looks old.
For his age, yeah.
Compared to he saw his baby cheeks back then.
That debut when he was 15 against Betis at the end of the season, 3 seasons ago now, I guess you could say, he did have a little bit of meat on the bone.
Yeah.
Now he's kind of like chiseled the face a little bit, you know?
And the clothes.
Obviously, he's got a drip. I mean, we never knew that. We knew that wasn't in doubt.
Right. He turned 18 just, well, what was it, 2-3 days ago, last Sunday. This was his birthday wish.
Als 18 anys li demano tot el que han tingut als 16 i als 17, però més el títol que em falta i, òbviament, el Mundial també. O sigui, el Mundial i Champions és el que em falta. Llavors, la meva mentalitat em diu que tinc que anar a guanyar. No tinc en el cap pensar que tinc molts anys per jugar, jo vull guanyar ara i ho intentaré, ho donaré tot per fer-ho. Llavors, només dir als culers que estarem allí, lluitarem. Segur que tornarà a casa a la Champions i anirà per al Mundial també.
just the confidence,
He
the
wants it
swag to
all.
come out at the age of, well, 18 and say that. Like putting all the responsibility on himself as well. He's not been shy of doing that as well. I remember the post he posted on Instagram after the defeat against Inter Milan in the Champions League, saying, "Hey, we know we've let you down. We want to bring the Champions League back to where it deserves to be." I remember before the Inter game, him saying, "As long as I win, no one can say anything.
Yeah.
When I lose, come after me." There's the whole Rabiot thing back in the Euros. The way he carries himself, just the attitude and the utter confidence he has.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you need some of that ego when it comes to being in his position, especially with the pressure that the people outside, that external noise that he has around him. I mean, you know, the name LAMINE YAMAL has become a household name. I think people who don't watch football know exactly who LAMINE YAMAL is because he's become that prominent, you know, globally and much more here in Spain. But
his new contract, and in his hometown of Mataró, in Rocafonda, in that neighborhood. Let's take a look at it. They're paying homage to him. Look at that graffiti, from Rocafonda to the world. LAMINE YAMAL 10. De Rocafonda al món, LAMINE YAMAL 10.
ooh.
Are we getting a little exclusive there with that final double digit?
A little advancey.
Are we allowed to say it? Yes, we are. Lamine Yamal,
Well, that's
number 10 for Barca. And
Look at that.
yet another responsibility he takes on.
Yeah, that's a big one as well, historically. That's a big one.
That's serious stuff.
That's a big one.
And we'll be seeing more of that in a second. That new number for Lamine Yamal, that number 10, which we just saw officialized via that tweet. We'll be seeing more on that in a few seconds. I bet that Lamine Yamal number 10 jersey's going to be a bestseller tomorrow.
Today.
I'm not. I don't have the information. I'm not sure when it's going on sale. Whenever it goes on sale, it's one of those. So many jerseys sold in an hour.
There's you know, actually the anecdote was today when I was driving here. There was a guy on a scooter in front of me. He had Lamine Yamal 10 already bought.
Already? Wow.
Already.
Okay.
That was
point you
preamps.
personalized.
Yeah, you definitely
I guess,
personalized it.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
Can we get this picture on full screen, please? Because we want to appreciate the art. We'd like to see the full picture of the graffiti.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, you guys are the younger generation here. Take me through it. I mean, it's fantastic. It's got a little bit of everything. It's got the
Yeah, it does.
celebrations. It's got La Masia in it.
It's got the dance.
He's got the sunglasses up at the top of the
Yeah.
run with the trophies around
Yeah,
him.
there you go. He's got the trophies as well.
He's pointing to the back of his shirt. That might be the Clásico goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 304 celebration as well.
Yeah.
And then that number 10, designed with some of Lamine Yamal's best celebrations. You know, fantastic graffiti
No, it's
in
brilliant.
this town of Rocafonda. From Rocafonda to
The
world.
world.
A sense of also overcoming the odds, coming from a very humble neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
one that he's very proud of, one that he includes in every single celebration. And that's
Yeah.
another thing that I think helps people feel attached or close to him, or be able, I mean, the right word's not coming to my mind, but people connect with him
Yeah.
because of that, because he's so proud of where he comes from.
Yeah. Yeah, he's never hidden, you know, where he comes from, you know, what that neighborhood entails, that it's, you know, it's not Barcelona city center, it's just the outskirts of it. And yeah, I think him kind of embracing who he is, I think is part of the confidence. He knows exactly who he is. He doesn't try to be someone else. He doesn't try to be, you know, the comparisons now are obviously going to be Messi. You know, he's not trying to be Messi. He's Lamine Yamal. He's, you know, he's himself. And I think that confidence in himself personally and both, you know, as a footballer kind of comes across entirely, and he is making his own name and he knows that, and he's so confident.
There was a word in that work of art which was Masia. I think that's especially significant today as well as it was when Barca extended the contract of Pau Cubarsí, did the adaptation of the adequation of the contract of Mar Bernal, securing this young nucleus. We'll talk about that in a second. But La Masia, Lamine Yamal, joined La Masia at the age of 7. I'm going to ask our editor Jordi Cochran if we can show some of the goals that Lamine Yamal scored at a very young age playing for Football Barcelona, while we make time before we see Lamine Yamal signing his contract and then going on to talk to us as well. Look, Lamine Yamal, who joined Barca, as I said, at the age of 7 and just went up through the ranks at lightning speed, doing things that we see him do now on a pitch with professional players.
He hasn't changed.
Yeah, I remember when I first started, you know, doing stuff here at Barca Studios, we had the cadete games, the under 15s, and he was 13 years old, and he was far and away the best player on the pitch for either side, obviously, and he was doing it at an age group with players who were 2 years older than him.
Yeah.
And that's just, I think, one of the things that was extremely impressive about his game as a youngster. And now he's translated that to doing it with grown men who get paid to feed their families and make a living playing football. And he's just...
I mean, look at that.
Now here he is. Now he's starting to grow up a little bit. But it's just really impressive.
Yeah.
You know what's fantastic as well is that through this growing up process in La Masia, he was teammates for most of those years with Pau Cubarsí, with Marc Bernal. That's a trio that has grown up together. There are other fantastic players who also played with them as well. There's actually a goal in this collection of clips of him as a youngster in which all three of them connect for a goal coming off of a corner kick. But it's just fantastic to see those players who have grown up together now making an impact on the first team.
Yeah, I think what's most special about La Masia that I think a lot of people kind of don't ignore, but it's undervalued, is the normality that La Masia gives to these players to get to the first team and be normal. You know, it's an identity, it's a style of play that we see from La Masia to the first team, but also it's that community with your teammates that you have from such a young age that I think is so special, that, you know, the players, you know, Marc Bernal, Lamine and everybody that has gotten to the first team, for them it's just, you know, the next step. And it's normality to play against, you know, to be in that kit, to be on the pitch, to, you know, Camp Nou and everything what it means to be Barca. For them, it's normal, and I think that's so important for them to get to the first team without necessarily feeling the pressure of a new team. You know, it is the first team, but for them it's just the next step in this whole progression that they've had since they were so little.
There he is wearing a number 10 shirt.
Yeah.
That worked for a moment. It looked like he changed it up a bunch of times when he was a youngster. But you can just see, especially these games now, he's growing in age with each of these.
And his legs got a lot longer.
This is the game. I remember this is that first year, because it's the was it the 21-22 shirt year.
Yeah.
So he's playing right here. He's 13 years old. He's playing against 15-year-olds.
Yep. Oh, well, we're seeing this footage of Lamine Yamal as a youngster playing for Barca, growing up, scoring the kind of goals that he scores now for the first team, making the kind of impact that he scores with the first team. But, of course, it's a live event of the extension of Lamine Yamal's contract. Lamine Yamal, que signa el seu contracte fins 2031. Estem pendents de veure aquesta firma, i ara, quan s'acabin aquestes imatges veient els gols que Lamine Yamal va marcar en la seva etapa al futbol base del Futbol Club Barcelona, doncs veurem aquest graffiti. This graffiti in Rocafonda, a time-lapse of how it was made. Veurem un time-lapse de com es va fer aquest graffiti, aquesta obra d'art que lluirà al poble de Mataró, a Rocafonda. Veiem aquest time-lapse. There you go. The creation of this work of art, guys. Spence, you think you could pull something like that off?
I know for a fact that it would not look that cool. It looked like a second grader did it. So I'm glad.
Should we challenge next time we do a Barca Live together?
Yeah, maybe later this season we can try to do our own mural here in the studio.
Maybe we should have one like that. Or maybe we could have a copy of that here in the studio.
I would much prefer that.
Season. That is the graffiti that has been made in Rocafonda to commemorate this occasion. Lamine Yamal turning 18, signing a new contract. Number 10. Just very special stuff, and there's more to come from Camp Nou. Estem en directe des del Camp Nou. De seguida podrem veure imatges de la signatura del contracte de Lamine Yamal, que el vincularà al club fins l'estiu, fins al juny de 2031, quan tindrà tan sols 24 anys. 24 years old, guys. He will be, and they usually say that players peak at 25, 26, 27, so he might not even have peaked yet.
That's why it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, 24 years old, he's still going to have a lot more in the tank at that point. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves and jump over our skis here. How old are you going to be in 2031?
I don't. I would not like to disclose that information. Yeah, no, too old.
You'll still be rooting for Lamine.
I'll still be rooting for Lamine. I'll still be rooting for Barca in 2031, and I'm sure it will go well. Guys, I was talking about this young nucleus. Barca extending the contracts of players like Pedri, players like Pau Cubarsí, now Lamine Yamal. We did Gavi as well. We adjusted the contract of Marc Bernal and of Gerard Martin. So Barca, and now with Hansi Flick as the head coach, growing together with these young players who we've already seen succeed at a very young age.
Yeah, I think Hansi Flick we trust. He's instilled so much trust in the young players in big moments. You know, Cubarsí came in to replace Araujo in key moments, and you were kind of like, ooh, what's going to happen when a Cubarsí comes up in a Champions League match in a must-win against players that are far, far more experienced than him? No problem. You know, when your manager instills that confidence in you, and I think Hansi Flick is the man that would grab you, look you in the eyes, and make you believe in yourself. You know, just like those blue eyes, just like, you can do this, and you genuinely believe what he's saying, because, you know, he doesn't seem like a guy who's gonna, you know, kind of beat around the bushes and kind of tell you something that he doesn't genuinely believe in. So these young players have leadership in both Hansi, but also in the captains as well. I think, you know, having Rafinha as captain majority of the season has been big for the young players. They really, really trust them. You know, the goals that they celebrate together has been key, but the youngsters are just, and I think what's most telling about all of them is that they're all just enjoying playing football. Like, I think most of them don't feel pressure. They have confidence in themselves. I think that's instilled in the environment that Hansi Flick and the captains are putting, but none of them are kind of, you know, really, really feeling the pressure. If they go in for headers, you know, Cubarsí got the cut and the studs. They're enjoying themselves, and I think that's when players are really, really, you know, the most dangerous. And Hansi Flick has managed for these youngsters to feel no pressure, just go out and play their football.
Right, we have an update. Tenim novetat a les xarxes socials del Barça. Ensenyem-ho. There we go. El nostre 10, our number 10. He is our new number 10. Guys, I was saying, a significant number.
Yeah.
Very symbolic, more symbolic aquest número 10. Worn previously by some of the best players in the world, by a few Ballon d'Or winners.
Just a couple.
Just a few.
Just a couple, yeah.
By one Leo Messi, by one Ronaldinho, by one Rivaldo, by one Romario, by one Diego Maradona. Guys, it's definitely a challenge.
Yeah. What does it mean, Spence?
It comes with a responsibility as a player when you take that number on. But I'd like to think, especially given the history that this number carries, not just in world football, but for specifically this club.
Yeah.
I think you need to treat this number like marriage.
Okay.
Okay.
Elaborate.
How's that going for you?
When you get married, the thing that you say is you don't want anything to change from the day before you get married to the day that you get married to the day after you get married. Okay. And you're just moving on with the next phase of your life, but it doesn't change who you are or how you act or
Si esta Vicky puede, esta Vicky también quiere. Si ella puede, ella quiere. Puede, quiere. Puede, quiere.
like putting the 10 on his back is going to change his mentality.
It sort of makes it official.
Yeah.
But
it just makes it more significant.
And that's what a marriage contract does. It makes it official.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at some of the other number 10s. Alguns dels altres 10s de la història del Barça, alguns cracs. Diego Maradona, Romario, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, Leo Messi, jugadors que han portat el dorsal 10. Diego Maradona back in the 80s when players didn't wear their names on the back of their shirts, but
it means the same.
El Pelusa was always the number 10. This is one of his iconic goals against Real Madrid. Romario, of course, as well. Also didn't have the name on the back of his shirt, but always wore that number 10. Here, a great goal that he scored in El Clásico, la cua de vaca, el clàssic de 1994, 5-0 davant el Real Madrid, trencant la cintura de Rafa Alcorta. That's 31 years ago, Spence. Rivaldo, with his iconic bicycle kick, one of the best goals in Barca's history. And he did that by wearing number 10.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're ranking the best goals in Barca's history,
that is
top 3.
Yeah.
No?
This, Ronaldinho's first ever goal at the Camp Nou.
And only because, I mean,
I was there that day.
That could be top 5 also, right there.
Yeah. And of course,
Who?
the player who showed the entire Santiago Bernabeu which
His
number he was
number
wearing
10.
that day.
I will wait till the day till Lamine does the celebration.
I'm sure
He
there'll be
definitely
something.
will.
I'm sure he's got more in his mind. I mean,
Oh, definitely.
he seems like a creative young lad.
Yeah. I
both
do
on
like.
and off the pitch.
Speaking about the numbers, I do like the parallel right now with the women's team as well. Caroline Graham Hansen, same position, same style player, same goals, same techers, and
Not the same age.
Not the same age. Not the same age because
That's not a knock on Caroline.
No, because she's my year, so we don't disclose the age. But that parallel is also quite fun because they're kind of the same profile player. And our two number 10s right now in Barcelona are wingers, which is traditionally not the number 10 that you would normally have. But right now, our two number 10s are very creative, very explosive, very just unique players, and I find that really interesting.
Let's just update. Lamine Yamal is at the Barca offices signing his new contract that links him to Barça until 2031. Lamine Yamal és a les oficines del Barça. Avui firma el seu contracte fins a 2031 i ja hem fet oficial que durà el dorsal 10 la temporada que ve, aquell dorsal que han dut altres grans estrelles de la història del Barça, Leo Messi, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Romario, Diego Maradona. Lamine Yamal, que ha arribat fa una estona amb la seva família i que firmarà el contracte que el vincularà al club fins a 2031, quan tindrà 24 anys, 24 years of age, guys. And I want to talk about the commitment as well. Lamine Yamal has always shown himself proud of being a Barca player. He's always said in press conferences, on social media, that he wants to succeed as a Barca player. And there was never any doubt, I don't think, that this is the way that he wanted things to go. We know, obviously, that sometimes things happen, but here, everything's following the logical course.
Yeah, he's always been really, really clear that he wants to win trophies with Barcelona. He wants to be the player with Barcelona. And I think that's so special because you know that he's always going to be giving it all in a Barcelona kit. And now, especially with the historic number 10, with the history that he wants to create at Barcelona, you know, this is, again, it's only the beginning, which sounds ridiculous to say considering how much he's done already. But he's a player that's proud to be wearing the Blaugrana kit. And I think that's only going to be, you know, it's just going to be so special these next few years.
Well, and there's responsibility also, I would use that word again, that comes with winning the way that Barca have won, especially this last season. But the way Lamine has come onto the scene this year, last year, he's gotten a taste of it now. He knows what it feels like to be the best.
Yep.
And we can be realistic and say that Barca probably aren't going to win the League and the Champions League and the Copa del Rey every single season. So when they do encounter hard times, he can go back to what he's already accomplished, and that should motivate him to then get them to the next level whenever that time needs to come.
Yeah.
And we're seeing now footage of Lamine Yamal training earlier today. Imatges de Lamine Yamal entrenant-se aquest matí. L'equip que ha tornat als entrenaments aquesta setmana. Van passar els jugadors la revisió mèdica diumenge i ja es van entrenar dilluns sota les ordres de Hansi Flick preparant aquest curs 2025-2026. 10 dies de preparació a la ciutat de Barcelona, a la ciutat esportiva Joan Gamper, abans de viatjar a Japó i Corea del Sud per la gira. 3 partits durant la gira contra Vissel Kobe, el Seul i Daegu, i preparant també, evidentment, l'inici de la Lliga, que serà just d'aquí un mes, el 16 d'agost. El primer partit serà al camp del Mallorca. Ja tenim horaris confirmats dels 3 primers partits de Lliga. Mallorca a 7:15 el 16 d'agost. Una setmana després, dissabte 23 d'agost, serà al camp del Llevant, 9:15 de la nit, i el tercer partit també fora de casa, al camp del Rayo Vallecano, en aquest cas dissabte 31 d'agost, al camp del Rayo a 9:15. L'equip que ja està preparant-se, ja han tornat als entrenaments, alternant entrenament únic amb dobles sessions. Demà es podrà veure l'entrenament en directe aquí al canal de YouTube del Barça, 15 minutets de l'entrenament de Hansi Flick. We'll be seeing Barca's training session tomorrow here on Barca's YouTube channel, 9:30 in the morning, the morning session. and the team preparing for the upcoming season, which has plenty of challenges, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Such as?
Well, once you've made it to the top, the top being winning La Liga, Copa del Rey, Supercopa, domestic treble, semi-finals of the Champions League. Okay, maybe you didn't make it to the very top, but you made it to
the top.
To a high point.
Yeah.
Staying there, sustaining that success is a big challenge in itself.
Yeah.
Still with a young nucleus, young group of players.
Yeah, it'll be definitely interesting to see the mindset shift, because obviously this season, I think the players, just as us, we left with the bitter taste of not getting into the Champions League final and getting the opportunity to win that trophy. And it'll be kind of fun to see the mind shift of Champions League is the #1 priority, because we've already won the domestic treble. And, you know, it's kind of deciding what you prioritize. But at the same time, I think the season has kind of, well, the last season has kind of proved us wrong, because you always, especially towards the end of the season, you always have to prioritize one or the other. And I think this team has done brilliantly to kind of prioritize everything and do well in everything. But I think the season, as you say in Spanish, la espinita is there with the Champions League. So I think the season, I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of where we throw our cards and see what we're able to do with the rest of the season. But obviously we are the team to beat.
And Lamine kind of gave us that belief all year long about, well, maybe they just have to go for one competition over the other. Do they have the stamina to be able to play 2 high-level games every week for the last 4 months of the season?
Yeah.
We all, at some point, had doubt of whether or not that was possible.
Yeah.
And every time they seemed to prove us wrong, and they were putting up 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goals at a time.
The amount of goals that this team created and that Lamine Yamal created for his teammates. We're going to go over it in a second, but just overall, 106 appearances, 25 goals, 28 assists. Last season, 55 appearances, 18 goals, 22 assists. En català, Lamine Yamal, durant la seva carrera al Barça, 106 partits, 25 gols, 28 assistències. La temporada passada, la gran majoria, 55 partits, 18 gols, 22 assistències, amb 9 gols a la Lliga, 5 a la Champions, 2 a la Copa i 2 a la Supercopa. Recapitulem, Lamine Yamal és a les oficines del Barça, a les instal·lacions del Barça, per signar el seu nou contracte amb el Futbol Club Barcelona. El vincularà al club fins a 2031. Serà blaugrana 6 temporades més, tindrà 24 anys quan s'acabi aquest contracte, i esperem que pugui ser blaugrana molts anys més. Imatges de la sala comercial, de les instal·lacions del Camp Nou, la família de Lamine Yamal i el crack que arriben a aquesta sala comercial, acompanyats també del president Joan Laporta, on Lamine Yamal, mira, s'ha fotografiat amb aquest dorsal 10, la nova samarreta de Lamine Yamal per aquesta temporada, també amb els seus pares, acompanyat també del president Joan Laporta. Lamine Yamal amb la seva família, un dia sens dubte que recordaran durant molt temps. Doesn't it look good? It looks fantastic.
It looks
Especially
natural.
with the new shirt. I like the new shirt
Yeah.
this year. It's a really nice design.
I really like the balance of his, like the long name with the numbers, just aesthetic reasons.
You like the fade between the two colours?
Yeah,
I
it is
like
nice.
a little gradient. I'm a nice gradient guy.
You're a gradient guy.
Gradient guy.
Well, Lamine Yamal will wear number 10. Lamine Yamal portarà el dorsal 10, el dorsal que han portat tants i tants cracs de la història del Barça. Ben aviat sentirem les paraules de Lamine Yamal. També vam veure el seu missatge el dia que va fer 18 anys, un missatge gravat per als mitjans del club. Dins del documental Inside Barça, Lamine Yamal que deia que el seu desig per aquests 18 anys és portar la més desitjada cap aquí, guanyar la Champions, també el Mundial. Un Lamine Yamal molt valent amb els seus desitjos. Veurem si ho pot aconseguir aquesta temporada. Ell i el seu equip, ell i els seus companys, amb Hansi Flick al capdavant, amb aquesta temporada 2025-2026, que ja han començat a preparar aquesta setmana. Guys, we'll see if his wishes come true. We'll be hearing from him very briefly, Lamine Yamal, in this very special day for him, and it's fantastic to see him surrounded by his family, just to get everyone together for this very joyous occasion.
Yeah, everybody's happy to see Lamine get what he deserves after a season that had us believing the impossible. So I also like his drip. I think he's.
I really like. I rate the suit. To be fair.
Yeah.
No, it's a big day again. You know, it's going to be one of those days that you remember forever. As cliche as that sounds, you know, 10 years time, you're going to be like, remember that time when Lamine Yamal turned 18 and he signed his contract? You know, it's going to be one of those, what were you doing in that moment? What do you remember from that? And kind of recollect everything. But I think, again, it's a new chapter in his journey with Barcelona. I think it's kind of, you know, so official now. Maybe, you know, the last few years was kind of the time trial. You know, can this teenager get to the first team and perform? And he's like, yeah, you can. So now you kind of go for everything and see where it goes now.
This is footage from when the mural at Rocafonda was unveiled. Imatges de com s'ha descobert aquest grafiti a Mataró, a Rocafonda, aquesta oficialització d'alguna manera del dorsal 10 de Lamine Yamal, la mainada amb la seva samarreta. I una autèntica obra d'art, sens dubte, aquest grafiti que li han dedicat a la figura de Lamine Yamal amb aquest dorsal 10, dins del 10, moltes celebracions, la paraula Masia també, aquest 304, doncs a un lloc on Lamine Yamal segurament va disputar alguns partidets també, aquesta pista de futbol. Veiem com aquí Rocafonda llueix amb orgull que Lamine Yamal és un mes d'allà. It's just a fantastic work of art, guys, eh?
Yeah, it's brilliant. You look at it, the more you look at it, the further the wall goes. I didn't realize the wall was that big.
You've got that Rocafonda there,
there's so much
to Lamine Yamal.
There's so much detail to that. It's
meshes in really nicely. It's kind of camouflaged in there a bit. The artwork is very precise.
Yeah.
Looks really good.
No, it's brilliant.
And that little kid there, he was touching the wall to make sure the paint was dry.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure everything was good.
Fantastic, fantastic scenes here. Everyone will surely want to pick with it, and just a fantastic thing to see, the link that Lamine Yamal has with his childhood neighborhood. So let's talk a little bit about Lamine's numbers. I was saying, already at the age of 18, 106 appearances. That's bonkers.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, really.
I don't know how you add on. It's not about the goals. It's not about the assists.
No.
Because we can talk about those numbers too, and I'm sure we will. But it's that. It's the appearances. It's the minutes. It's the miles or the kilometers. It's the amount of game time that a 17-year-old kid has played at the highest possible professional level. That's what, to me, that's what's the most impressive. But
it's also the minutes that he hasn't played and the effect that it's had on the team.
I've got to go to the commercial room at Spotify Camp Nou. A la sala comercial hi tenim el Pol Martínez amb Lamine Yamal.
El protagonista del dia, un Lamine Yamal que avui ha renovat la seva vinculació fins al 2031. Lamine, què tal? Primer de tot, felicitats. Què suposa per tu seguir lligat al Barça?
Era un somni des de petit i molt feliç. La meva família i jo estem molt feliços i a seguir així.
Renovació fins al 2031, 6 anys més. Què esperes o quins objectius tens, tant a nivell individual com col·lectius?
Guanyar, sempre guanyar, disfrutar i seguir creixent, perquè encara soc molt jove, però sobretot seguir guanyant.
Parles ara de seguir creixent, t'hem vist créixer aquí al Barça, t'hem vist debutar, també a la Masia, t'hem vist marcar gols, guanyar títols ara. Què esperes o què suposa per tu seguir lligat al Barça? Què és per tu el Barça?
És tota la meva vida. Al final, des dels 7 anys que porto aquí, és la meva casa. Jo crec que per tots els nois de la Masia és un somni arribar al primer equip i jo estic complint i a seguir treballant.
Ara hi ha molta gent connectada veient-nos. Un missatge per tota l'afició culer que avui estarà molt contenta de veure't renovar.
Res, que tinc moltes ganes de jugar davant d'ells, al nou estadi, al Camp Nou. Disfrutarem molt aquest any i guanyarem segur.
Sort i èxits, Lamine.
Moltes gràcies.
Doncs les paraules de Lamine Yamal ja l'heu pogut escoltar. Lògicament, content, feliç després de signar la seva renovació amb el Barça fins al 2031.
Gracias, Paul. Thank you, Paul. Lamine Yamal talking there about Barca being the club of his dreams, the club where he's always wanted to play since the age of 7. Lamine Yamal, ambitious, still wants to continue to grow, wants to continue to improve, and of course wants to play at Spotify Camp Nou and wants to win at Spotify Camp Nou.
That's what that last question that Paul asked had me thinking. That's one thing we're missing with Lamine. We have not seen any Spotify Camp Nou moments with him, except for the debut.
Except for the debut, yeah, that's
Where he
one moment.
where he hits the post and
he almost scores and almost assists in 10 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
At the age
great.
of 15.
And that's great. But
preview.
I want to see him score and assist at the Spotify Camp Nou. All of the iconic goals that we've had of him so far
Imagine
are
that
either
there.
on the road or at. I mean, Montjuic has been great for the last 2 years for different reasons, but it doesn't quite.
It's
feel
not
like
Camp Nou.
It's not home. So let's get a few moments in the new revamped.
With the
stadium.
new number 10.
Yeah, and it'll happen with 10. True.
Dèiem ara que una de les respostes de LAMINE YAMAL dient que volia guanyar a l'Spotify Camp Nou, que té moltes ganes de jugar a l'Spotify Camp Nou i que de moment només hi hem vist el debut, aquell 4-0 davant el Real Betis el 29 d'abril de 2023. I aquí LAMINE YAMAL lluint el dorsal 10 amb la direcció esportiva del Futbol Club Barcelona, acompanyat del president Joan Laporta, també del director de futbol Anderson Luis de Sousa Deco i la resta de la direcció esportiva del Futbol Club Barcelona i també acompanyat de la seva família. Ha volgut que tota la seva família fos present en aquest dia tan especial, aquest dia en què ha renovat el seu contracte i ha fet oficial doncs aquest nou dorsal, aquest 10 que lluirà a l'esquena assumint el que és doncs, la responsabilitat, el simbolisme d'aquest dorsal 10 que han portat tants grans jugadors a la història del Barça. Veiem aquestes fotografies que de ben segur quedaran pel record, que quedaran immortalitzades, un dorsal tan simbòlic aquest 10, per una temporada que, doncs, al qual tenim moltes ganes. Venim de guanyar un triplet domèstic, venim de guanyar Lliga, Copa i Supercopa, ens vam quedar a les portes de la final de la Champions en aquella eliminatòria contra l'Inter i veurem si l'equip pot competir per fins i tot millorar el que va fer la temporada passada. Ben segur que és l'ambició de LAMINE YAMAL. We were just talking about it, I'm sure. You hear him and he's ambitious.
Well, I'm just imagining, I was daydreaming about LAMINE YAMAL winner, Camp Nou, Champions League semi-final, send us to the final. How about that?
Wow.
How does that
That's a very
sound?
specific daydream.
That was, I was just, just looking at the distance.
Does it come from a specific point? Is it a certain type of goal that you were daydreaming about?
I would like it to be a Rafinha assist.
Oh,
Rafinha assist, LAMINE YAMAL
the 11
winner,
to the 10, eh?
curler, Champions League semi-final this season.
With the... Obviously, we can't assume who will be starting because that is Hansi Flick's direction. But with the tridente that played most last season, I always like it when it's numbers in sequence. When you've got Lewandowski 9, LAMINE YAMAL 10, Rafinha 11. I always like when that happens. I always dream of a 1 to 11 lineup as well. Obviously, then there's a lot of other players who are involved and who deserve to play as well. But yeah, that's fantastic. I was going to say something. Oh, yes, of course. You speak of Champions League semi-finals. One of the, changes that UEFA has made would have benefited Barca last season greatly. Champions League, a little tweak in the format, and the teams that end up in the higher spots in the league group phase will have all of their return games at home. Barca would have had all of the return games at home against Borussia, against Inter. That might have come in handy. It's not to say that it would have changed anything, but well, playing a return game with your fans.
Yeah, if we're talking about that, I think it's the right decision because it seems, I don't know, you could argue both ways, but I think most people would agree that having that second leg at home, because it is the decisive leg, is the most important.
Yeah,
in the end, it's all even and fair. Although, of course, unless you go to extra time, in that case, you do get an extra 30 minutes at home, and that's what Inter had. So yeah.
Yeah, you kind of have that, but I think second leg at home is always kind of favourable, and obviously, you have the kind of expectation to celebrate at home with your fans and in your stadium, and I think that's quite special as well. But I do, it is a nice tweak.
And if you go down in the first leg, for example, you always have that extra added motivation and that little chip in the back of your pocket to pull out and say, all right, I got the next 90 minutes at home, so we're going to give it everything we've got.
Yeah.
Yep, well, that is a tweak for this season, a season in which, as I said, we already know when the first 3 matches will be played. All 3 of them away. Match day 1 is in a month in Mallorca.
1 month.
7:30 in the evening. That is the 16th of August. It's a Sunday, so mark that one in red. Following week, also in red, Sunday the 23rd. That is at 9:30 at night. Of course, warm temperatures in
Dos quarts de
Spain.
deu.
Dos quarts de deu, exactly. Warm temperatures in Spain, and the later the better, really, for kickoffs. So 9:30 against Levante, one of the recently promoted teams. And then match day 3 is against Rayo Vallecano. That's a Saturday, also 9:30, and I believe that's the 31st, if my calculations are correcto.
So, Mallorca, Levante, and Rayo to
all three
start
Yep.
the season away. Tough games away, but there are a ton of other teams who would projected to be towards the top of La Liga who I didn't hear for those first 3 games. So that's a sign to, and they're on the road. It's going to be tough, but that's a sign for Hansi and the boys and Lamine to get out there and start fast.
There are some parallels as well. We played Rayo Vallecano in match day 3, as we did last season.
Dani Olmo debut
Dani
goal.
Olmo debut
Come on.
goal. That was brilliant.
Come on now.
Definitely. So good memories there. Of course, the day that Mar Bernal got injured as well, but hopefully he'll be back
How about
out and running with the team.
How about the last Levante game?
How about the last Levante game? Tell me about it, because I'm blank.
Luke de Jong.
Oh, is that the last one? Oh, dear. Right.
Okay.
Bé, doncs recapitulem. Lamine Yamal, que ha anat a les oficines del Barça, firma el seu nou contracte amb el Futbol Club Barcelona, una firma que veurem en uns instants. Ja ha posat també amb el dorsal 10, amb el nou dorsal que lluirà aquesta temporada. Un dorsal que han lluït grans figures de la història del Barça. Lamine Yamal s'uneix a aquesta col·lecció. Parlàvem ara també dels horaris oficials de la Lliga. 3 primeres jornades ja tenen horari i tenim rivals. Mallorca, Llevant i Rayo Vallecano. Tot això abans que s'acabi el mes d'agost. L'equip que haurà disputat la pretemporada amb aquests 3 partits de la gira asiàtica davant el Vissel Kobe el dia 27 de juliol, davant el Seül el dia 31 de juliol i el Daegu el dia 4, partits que podreu seguir a través de les plataformes del dorsal 10, que ja en els propers dies o immediatament pràcticament veurem a la botiga del Barça, un best-seller sens dubte. Una foto per a la història, Lamine Yamal i el president Joan Laporta posant amb el dorsal 10, una fotografia que oficialitza aquesta renovació de contracte i aquesta decisió tant del club com del jugador d'agafar aquest dorsal 10 que quedava vacant amb la marxa d'Ansu Fati fa uns dies. Realitzat una ampliació de contracte que tothom desitjava. Lamine Yamal, que serà blaugrana com a mínim fins als 24 anys, fins al 2031, perdó. Lamine Yamal blaugrana fins al 2031, encaixada de mans amb el president Laporta i amb el vicepresident Juste, i Lamine Yamal posant amb aquesta samarreta que el vincula al Futbol Club Barcelona fins al 2031 i després, posteriorment, evidentment, amb aquest dorsal 10. Anirem en breus a la botiga del Barça a veure què s'hi està coent. També aquí la fotografia amb el director de futbol, amb Anderson Luis de Sousa Deco, i una renovació que, sens dubte, és important. Hem vist al llarg de l'últim any com el club també ha segellat les renovacions de Pau Covarsí, de Pedri, no en voldria deixar ningú, també ha adequat el contracte de Marc Bernal, Rafinha també, Gerard Martín, no en voldria deixar ningú, però el Barça que va ampliant el contracte d'aquest nucli de jugadors joves, Gavi també, per exemple, i s'assegura un futur amb èxit, de ben segur, amb aquests jugadors criats a la casa, la majoria, i amb molta gana, amb moltes ganes de fer coses grans aquí al Barça. You guys want to see a special video?
Do it.
Ooh, let's see it.
Veiem un vídeo de LAMINE YAMAL, blaugrana, des dels 7 anys.
LAMINE es grau i juga al Barça.
Banda dreta, el xut, LAMINE YAMAL, gol, 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 gol. Aquest és LAMINE YAMAL, quina jugada LAMINE YAMAL, continua LAMINE, gol de LAMINE YAMAL. LAMINE YAMAL, el dribling, també que bascula, de LAMINE YAMAL, que prova el xut i gol! Ha marcat el Barça, acaba d'empatar LAMINE YAMAL, un golaç al Todo. Jugador més jove en debutar a la història del Barça. 15 anys, 9 mesos. LAMINE YAMAL fa història. Pilota per l'àmbit, carrega cap esquerra, xut! Gol, 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 LAMINE YAMAL, gol! Era el clàssico, és LAMINE YAMAL. Treballa LAMINE, la centrada, xut!
LAMINE. Moltes gràcies també, LAMINE, per acceptar atendre els companys dels mitjans de comunicació. Serà un canotazo, per tant serà una cosa breu, 10-12 minuts. Per tant, jo sé que hi ha molts temes d'actualitat, però us pregaria que centréssim les preguntes amb el tema que avui ens ocupa, que és la renovació oficial de LAMINE fins a l'any 2031 i l'assignació d'un dorsal icònic en el Futbol Club Barcelona, que és el número 10, com podeu veure aquí a la botiga. Sense més, hi ha paraules demanades. Roger Saperes havia demanat la paraula. Roger, de RAC1, endavant. Les preguntes que formuleu en castellà seran contestades en castellà. Les preguntes que formuleu en català seran contestades en català. Endavant.
Preparat ja LAMINE YAMAL. Hola, LAMINE, aquí, en directe pel temps afegit de RAC1. A veure si està tot a punt ja.
Bona tarda.
Què tal? Bona tarda. Et volia fer un parell de qüestions molt ràpides, un moment que estan... Sí, estan acabant d'ajustar ara mateix el micròfon. Vinga, som-hi, ara sí. LAMINE, què tal? Bona tarda, com et deia, en directe pel temps afegit de RAC1. Et volia preguntar si aquesta renovació fins al 2031, amb tot el que implica, et converteix ja en el líder absolut d'aquest equip, del Barça, i després si el 10, més enllà de la il·lusió, et genera també més pressió. Gràcies.
Bona tarda. No, jo crec que el que significa aquesta renovació és que seguiré jugant al club de la meva vida, seguiré disfrutant, seguiré guanyant perquè estic al millor club del món i res, seguiré disfrutant i no tinc cap pressió, la veritat que estic molt feliç, els meus amics estan feliços, la meva família i ara només toca disfrutar amb un número diferent però amb el mateix objectiu.
Molt bé. Alfredo Martínez, Onda Cero, endavant.
LAMINE, buenas tardes. Enhorabuena, Alfredo Martínez, Onda Cero. Es tu primera gran renovación, ya con 18 años cumplidos. A pesar de todo, te quedará muchísimo recorrido. ¿Entiendes que este es el primer paso para ser una gran leyenda en el Barcelona y tener una carrera de larguísimo recorrido en el Barça, como todo el mundo desea?
Bueno, sí. Al final, renovar con el Barça hasta 2031 es un gran paso. Son bastantes años y entonces es el principio de un camino que espero que sea muy largo y que esté lleno de victorias. Entonces... Veremos, intentaremos disfrutar igual que el año pasado, bueno, más que el año pasado y ojalá poder cumplir mis sueños aquí.
Una precisió, veig que hi ha moltes torns demanats, no els podrem atendre tots perquè serà un acte limitat amb el temps, però intentarem atendre al màxim que podem. Crec que el Bernabéu, Diari Sport, endavant.
¿Qué tal, LAMINE? Muy buenas. David Bernabéu, Diario Sport. Felicidades por la renovación. ¿Pesa mucho el 10 de Messi? Es decir, la primera vez que te dijeron puede ser que te ofrezcamos el 10 de la próxima temporada, ¿pensaste en esto? Ahí fuera decían, no va a ser LAMINE el que va a llevar el 10, va a ser el 10 que va a llevar a LAMINE YAMAL, como dándole importancia a todo lo que has hecho hasta el momento. ¿Cuál es tu sensación con respecto a esto? Gracias.
Bueno, Messi ha hecho su camino, yo voy a hacer el mío. Viene de Ansu ahora, entonces paso de Ansu a LAMINE, entonces no tiene nada que ver, yo haré lo mío, intentaré trabajar al máximo, lo daré todo y intentar poner felicidad a todos los culés que están ahí y a los que están en casa.
Marc.
¿Qué tal, Lamine? Marc Núñez para el Chiringuito, enhorabuena por la renovación. Para anunciar este 10, publicaste fotos de Maradona, de Messi, de Ronaldinho. ¿Esperas marcar un legado como el que marcaron ellos con una camiseta tan especial aquí en el Barça con el dorsal 10? ¿Y con qué característica de cada uno de ellos te fijarías para llegar a lo que hicieron ellos? Merci.
Ojalá que sí. Al final son tres leyendas del fútbol, tres leyendas de este club, entonces creo que todo niño sueña con tener algo de ellos y pues, con cada uno me quedaría, de Messi me quedaría con todo, de Ronaldinho con todo y de Maradona con todo, entonces todo de todos han sido tres jugadores increíbles, Messi lo está haciendo aún, entonces nada, agradecido por lo que le han dado al club e intentaré pues, seguir ese legado.
Hola Lamine, aquí Josep Soldado para Jugones de la Sexta. Apenas llevas unos días con los 18 años. El tema del elogio, ¿cómo lo vas gestionando? Eres muy joven, algunos dicen que eres un crío, otros que ya estás madurando como futbolista. El elogio, ¿cómo lo vas a gestionar? Porque claro, te ponen por las nubes, también hay críticas en su momento supongo, pero ¿cómo llevas tan joven, con 18 años apenas, el elogio y cómo lo quieres gestionar?
No, la verdad que tanto la crítica como el elogio, si no son de mi familia o de mis amigos o de gente muy cercana a mí, me es indiferente porque al final los días que me elogian no puedo estar arriba y los que me critican abajo, entonces me es indiferente. Lo único que me importa es disfrutar, ahora ya estoy centrado en el fútbol, entonces eso, demostrar lo que soy y ya está.
Vale. Tenim temps per tres últimes preguntes per aquest ordre. Primer, Anaïs Martí, La Vanguardia, després vindré per aquí.
Hola, Lamine. Què tal? Anaïs Martí de La Vanguardia. Et volia preguntar, l'any passat va ser una mica l'any que tu vas esclatar, que se t'ha posat a la diana fins i tot per guanyar la Pilota d'Or, que has fet un gran any amb el Barça. Aquesta temporada, quin és el repte personal de Lamine Yamal? Què és el que ha de millorar futbolísticament i a nivell de títols, esclar? Gràcies.
Bueno, no he guanyat la Champions, así que guanyar la Champions, la Mundial.
Xavi Lorente, TV3, endavant.
Lamine, bona tarda, Xavi Lorente de TV3. Quins reptes s'ha de marcar aquesta temporada Lamine Yamal i el Barça en concret després de venir un any de tants èxits que ara mateix sou l'enemic a batre, no?
El mateix, jo crec que guanyar el títol que ens ha faltat, que és la Champions, seguir creixent perquè al final som un equip molt jove, però seguir disfrutant sobretot perquè jo crec que quan disfrutem tothom està més feliç, nosaltres disfrutem més, juguem millor i guanyem. Llavors guanyar la Champions y seguir jugando igual de bien.
Aquí Lamine, felicidades, David Ibáñez de Mediaset. No sé si ya los compañeros te han felicitado por ese dorsal 10 que es tan icónico y si lo habías soñado alguna vez.
Sí, de pequeño al final mi primer sueño era debutar con el Barça y ir creciendo y obviamente llevaré el número 10. Yo creo que todo niño que nació en Barcelona sueña con eso, entonces me agradecido al club por pensar en mí, por cedérmelo y ahora demostrar lo que soy y a dejarlo arriba.
¿Qué tal, Lamine? Aquí Guillem Borras de Gigantes. También preguntarte un poco cómo ha caído en el vestuario, si durante el día de hoy, ya con la noticia de que iba a haber este acto que te han dicho y también el míster Hansi Flick, ¿qué mensaje te ha dado cuando sabía que iba a ser su nuevo 10?
Pues que mañana hay doble sesión, no ha hecho eso, que duerma pronto y ya está. Pero no, todos me han felicitado, yo creo que somos un vestuario muy unido, somos como una familia, entonces nada, estar agradecido a ellos, que sin ellos no estaría aquí y a seguir trabajando.
Molt bé. Ara sí que se'ns acaba el temps. Irene Guevara, del País, havia demanat preguntar.
Lamine, aquí Irene Guevara del País. Yo te quería preguntar, porque te hemos visto llegar con tu abuela, ¿qué significa que esté tu abuela aquí presente en tu renovación? ¿Te ha dicho algo de la camiseta, renovación, del contrato? Gracias.
Bueno, al final el acto se había retrasado por ella porque estaba en Marruecos, entonces sin ella no podía hacer algo tan especial para mí. Yo creo que ella no sabe lo que significa tampoco, entonces ella ve que estoy feliz y está feliz ella también, entonces nada, darle las gracias por todo lo que ha hecho por mí, por lo que sigue haciendo y intentar devolvérselo poco a poco, aunque no lo voy a poder nunca.
I ara sí, l'última, Catalunya Ràdio, el company de Catalunya Ràdio estava per allà.
Aquí, hola, Lamine, què tal? Roger Bussó, en directe al Tot Costa de Catalunya Ràdio. M'agradaria preguntar-te per la pressió que se't posa a sobre, no només pel 10, per qui l'ha portat, per Messi, per exemple, Ronaldinho, sinó per la pressió que pots tenir tu per tot el que fas fora del camp. Ja ho estem veient aquests últims dies, amb tot el que fas, qualsevol celebració. Tu com portes tot el que es diu, aquestes crítiques, perquè no t'afecti això el rendiment? Gràcies.
¿Puedo responder en español? Sí. Nada, al final yo trabajo para el Barça, juego para el Barça, pero cuando estoy fuera de la ciudad deportiva disfruto de mi vida y ya está.
Doncs amb aquesta imatge ens quedem després de les paraules de Lamine Yamal, el jove crac posant amb el dorsal 10, el nou dorsal que lluirà aquesta temporada 2025-2026. There's the image of Lamine Yamal posing with his new number. He will wear number 10 next season. An iconic number, a symbolic number, and we've just heard from him, and we'll just recap a little bit what Lamine Yamal had to say there. The second to last answer was, well, just a touching one, really. He was asked about what it meant for him to have his family there, to have his grandmother there, and he said, well, the reason why we're doing this today is because this was the day that my grandmother could be here. She was in Morocco previously. She couldn't travel. I wanted my grandmother to be here in such a special day for me. So that is just a fantastic thing to hear from Lamine Yamal. And then we just saw him just shake off the pressure of. He was asked several times, what does it mean to wear number 10? Does it put any more extra pressure? What have your teammates said to you about wearing number 10? Nothing. Lamine Yamal just shaking off the pressure. It's just
pressure.
Just another thing, another thing that has happened, and he wants to continue to work with his teammates to keep on succeeding. When asked what the challenges are for this upcoming season, do what we didn't do last season, win the Champions League. That is what Lamine Yamal said. And there was another little answer there that made us chuckle here, which was, did Hansi Flick say anything to you this morning, knowing that this was happened, that they were going to give you number 10? Lamine Yamal said, yes, he told me that tomorrow we have a double training session and to be there early.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly.
It sounds very Hansi-like.
Yeah. It does. It definitely does. I think that's, again, you know, I think Hansi is part of the reason why Lamine Yamal has been able to kind of focus on that, you know, great, you signed a new contract, you have a new number, get to training. You know, it's another day. You're still playing for the same team. You're playing for, you know, the same people around you. Well. You are part of the unit. You're nothing special. You know, grand, you have the number 10 kit, but you're still the same player. You're still playing under me. You are just one other player, you know, essentially. And that mindset is, as harsh as it sounds, it is so key for these players to kind of have that mentality and at the same time balance. You know, they're playing well, but Lamine Yamal knows what he is, what he can do, but at the same time, I think that's also really, really big for someone his age, and it's for all the players that are his age around him. They appreciate the team so much and they respect the team so much that Lamine Yamal knows he is the best on the pitch. But, you know, and I think his numbers say that, you know, he's playing for the team, he's not playing for himself. And I think at his age, all around, he is just an incredible player right now.
And while he was answering, we saw it in the background. The Lamine Yamal jersey is already on sale at the FC Barcelona store. La samarreta amb el dorsal 10 de Lamine Yamal ja es pot adquirir, ja es pot comprar a la botiga del Barça. Ja la poden aconseguir i veurem el moment en què Lamine Yamal doncs, ha estampat la seva pròpia samarreta. Aquí a la botiga, Lamine Yamal.
Did he personalize it?
He did it. He did it. Yeah. LAMINE YAMAL estampant el seu nom i el seu nou dorsal 10 darrere d'aquesta equipació oficial per la temporada 2025-2026, una que de ben segur serà especial per LAMINE YAMAL. Aquest procés que és art, it's art. I mean, you have to get it right, you have to get all the angles correct, you can't have it looking wonky.
No, I get so nervous whenever I personalize the kit because it's all like manual. One thing off and it's absolutely... But you know, I trust LAMINE. If he does my kit, I'll be happy.
Well, yeah, imagine going to the store and you have LAMINE doing it for you. Aquest és el moment en què LAMINE
I thought it came off as well.
Ha estampat el seu nom i el seu dorsal 10, el seu nou dorsal a la samarreta del Barça, unes samarretes que ja pengen a la botiga del Barça i que ja es poden adquirir. De ben segur que seran un best-seller. I'm sure, guys, that, well, I hope they have plenty of them.
I mean, that's going to sell out so quickly. It's absolutely, I mean,
look at that.
Wow. That's all gone by tomorrow.
Say, they really need to have a lot in stock.
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. I mean, that's all going to be gone as well.
El nou dorsal 10 de LAMINE YAMAL que ja llueix a la botiga del Barça. Ja la poden comprar, aquesta samarreta que esperem que entri a la història del Barça, com tantes altres, en una jornada que ha estat molt especial per a LAMINE YAMAL i pel Futbol Club Barcelona, per a tots els culers. Un dia que tots esperàvem, de ben segur, un dia que arriba després del 18è aniversari de LAMINE YAMAL i s'ha oficialitzat aquesta extensió del contracte del nou dorsal 10 del Futbol Club Barcelona fins al 2031. Ha arribat a les oficines del Barça passades les 6 de la tarda, acompanyat de tota la seva família, acompanyat de la seva àvia també. Ha explicat en aquesta atenció als mitjans que el dia havia de ser avui perquè hi havia de ser la seva àvia. Si era un dia especial per LAMINE YAMAL, ell volia estar acompanyat de la seva àvia. Ha estat això el que ha dit el nou crack, el crack del Barça. Ha arribat, com dèiem, passades les 6 de la tarda a les oficines del Futbol Club Barcelona, acompanyat de la seva àvia i també de la resta de la seva família. S'ha dirigit als despatxos, a les oficines del club, on amb el president Joan Laporta, amb el vicepresident Rafa Yuste, amb el director de futbol Anderson Luis de Sousa Deco, han segellat, han fet la firma d'aquest nou contracte que el vincula al club fins al 2031, fins a l'edat dels 24 anys, com a mínim. Després, evidentment, doncs, qui sap, però ja veurem. Confiem que LAMINE YAMAL pugui fer una carrera llarga al Futbol Club Barcelona i que ens pugui donar molts èxits. Després de la firma s'han dirigit a la sala comercial de les instal·lacions del Camp Nou, on ha posat amb aquesta nova samarreta, amb aquest dorsal 10, al costat de la maqueta de l'Spotify Camp Nou. Somriures del president Joan Laporta, del crack del Barça, de LAMINE YAMAL, també acompanyat dels seus pares en aquestes fotografies, en aquest dia històric en el que, doncs, d'alguna manera, també simbòlicament s'ha fet un traspàs amb aquest dorsal 10 que han dut tants grans jugadors de la història del Barça. Imatges també del moment de la firma, amb el president, amb Rafa Yuste, amb Anderson Luis de Sousa Deco, i tots somriures encaixades de mans en el moment de fer oficial aquesta firma del contracte que el vincula al club fins a 2031. S'uneix a una llista de jugadors que ja han renovat també el seu contracte al llarg d'aquest any: Pedri, Gavi, Pau Covarsí, Marc Bernal també el 2024 va ajustar el seu contracte, Rafinha també va firmar un nou contracte amb el Barça, Gerard Martín, doncs una llarga llista que assegura un nucli jove de jugadors que permetrà a l'equip competir al més alt nivell. Aquesta samarreta amb el missatge LAMINE YAMAL 2031 i la samarreta que tothom esperava, aquest LAMINE YAMAL amb el dorsal 10, una samarreta que, com hem vist fa uns instants, ha estampat ell mateix a la botiga del Barça. Abans d'atendre els mitjans, LAMINE YAMAL ha tingut el privilegi de poder estampar-la ell mateix, de poder posar el seu nom i nou dorsal al darrere de la samarreta que lluirà aquesta temporada 2025-2026. Una samarreta que, com dèiem, ja es pot comprar, ja està disponible a les botigues del Barça, també online, i que de ben segur doncs, que els aficionats del Barça ja deuen estar fent cua per poder-la aconseguir. De ben segur que serà un best-seller aquest LAMINE YAMAL 10, que veurem durant aquesta temporada 25-26 i que esperem que li porti sort al jove de 18 anys, LAMINE YAMAL Nasraoui, jugador que ja ha superat els 100 partits amb el Barça, infinitat de rècords, ja ha guanyat trofeus individuals, ha guanyat Lliga, Copa i Supercopa aquesta temporada i que, com deia en roda de premsa, somia amb guanyar la Champions. Es posa el repte de guanyar la Champions amb el Barça aquesta temporada, acompanyat també dels seus companys. Treballaran conjuntament per fer que aquesta temporada sigui encara millor que l'anterior. Això ens deia LAMINE YAMAL en l'atenció als mitjans, i mentre veiem com llueix la nova samarreta de LAMINE YAMAL a la botiga i com posava el crack amb el seu nou dorsal 10, podem recordar també el que ha dit LAMINE YAMAL al nostre company, el Pol Martínez, fa una estona. Veiem-ho.
LAMINE, què tal? Primer de tot, felicitats. Què suposa per tu seguir lligat al Barça?
Era un somni des de petit i molt feliç. La meva família i jo estem molt feliços i a seguir així.
Renovació fins al 2031, 6 anys més. Què esperes o quins objectius tens, tant a nivell individual com col·lectius?
Guanyar, sempre guanyar, disfrutar i seguir creixent, perquè encara soc molt jove i però sobretot seguir guanyant.
Parles ara de seguir creixent, t'hem vist créixer aquí al Barça, t'hem vist debutar, també a la Masia, t'hem vist marcar gols, guanyar títols ara. Què esperes o què suposa per tu seguir lligat al Barça? Què és per tu el Barça?
És tota la meva vida. Al final, des dels 7 anys que porto aquí, és la meva casa. Jo crec que per tots els nois de la Masia és un somni arribar al primer equip i jo estic complint i a seguir treballant.
Ara hi ha molta gent connectada veient-nos. Un missatge per tota l'afició culer, que avui estarà molt contenta de veure't renovar.
Res, que tinc moltes ganes de jugar davant d'ells, al nou estadi, al Camp Nou. Disfrutarem molt aquest any i guanyarem segur.
Sort i èxits, LAMINE.
Moltes gràcies.
Doncs
les paraules de LAMINE YAMAL amb el nostre company, el Pol Martínez. Those were the words of LAMINE YAMAL talking to our colleague Paul Martínez. An ambitious LAMINE YAMAL, a happy LAMINE YAMAL, and we wish him the best of luck for this season. Guys, just to sum it up, what does all of this mean for Barca, for the culés?
How do you do we have another program for another 45 minutes? I mean, what does it mean to have, you go back, you focused on the number 10 shirt. We have, the historic, we have, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, but essentially Lionel Messi, and the impacts that that player had on the club, both, globally and historically, internally in the club. The significance that the club meant to him was probably the biggest takeaway that we have from that. The sentiment that he had wearing the crest, that celebration, the Bernabeu, I think said it all in the sentiment. And you kind of have you have the expectation, but you don't want to have an expectation that big on someone, just 18 years old. But LAMINE YAMAL wants to become that player, wants to become that legendary player in a Barcelona kit. And the significance of that from, a culé, from the club, it's big. Finding a player that cares so much for a club, that cares so much to be a legend, who doesn't want to be anywhere else, is so hard to find. And for that to be LAMINE YAMAL right now in this, opportune moment of his age, of where the club is as well, I think that's very, very significant. We're in a good place, knock on woods that the season goes differently, but we've made, treble, domestic treble, Champions League semi-finals. It is a good place in the club right now, and you want players that want to continue that. They're not settling for less. LAMINE YAMAL, let's go for everything that we didn't win. And that significance and that push, especially over the last few years when the club, we haven't been at our best. We're good now. And on top of that, you have that leadership and you have that player that wants to do everything with a kit on. And I think for a fan, that means everything.
And I'm glad that you went big picture.
Big picture.
And a little bit more macro and just looking at it at the broad scope, because if you'll allow me, I'm gonna get a little more symbolic and existential in the sense that we have all of these memories of Lamine already. We went back and saw some of the great number 10s and the goals that they scored, like Maradona and Rivaldo and Ronaldinho. And we spent the last couple of months of last season talking about the big picture and winning a domestic treble. And I think now that this is sort of the culmination of that and a transition period, as you touched on in both languages, that we now come into a new season fresh, where every game is its own entity, and every chance that we get to watch Lamine, we can live in the present and enjoy that moment, because we truly don't know what's coming, but we can be awed by it, we can be awestruck, and then we can always remember those moments, remember where we were when he did the next spectacular thing. And it starts with the first game a month from now against Mallorca, and we can take each game one at a time, with the first Champions League stage game, the first Copa game, whatever it is, and enjoy it one step at a time.
I'm sure there's more records he can break. Guys, it's been a pleasure. 1 month to go until the season starts. I hope to
1
see you,
month to go.
for that as
Ready.
well. We're ready for it. Moltes gràcies per acompanyar-nos avui. Ho deixarem